Let's move on to the penultimate, which is race number 9. And this will be the first leg of the final DT, second leg of the treble, 1200 metre class 3. Let's have a look at the lineup. And Can't Stop the Feeling ran a bottler of a race on debut. Solomon's Bay was quite impressive in the fashion that he won his most recent start. Paul Alley carries saddlecloth number 3. Hercules, Lone Eagle, gelded back in July. Interesting runner. He's trialled well leading into this. We know he's got ability, and he's had a change of stable not that long ago as well. Endearing Private Rocket, Honest Ways, another talented galloper. Top Military, Some Street Somewhere. California Gung Ho's going well. Lakeshore Eagle and Chicken Dance down the bottom, both really nice, smart, fairly lightly raced horses. Winston's Lad still looking for that drop in grade. Now Endearing is the horse who ran second last start behind Le Terroir. He's gone back to Chunfa since.
California Gung Ho up on the pace here. He didn't surrender the lead to last start. He was able to hold that out. Lone Eagle's trial up on the pace recently, and we've seen him to a good effect at the trials up on the pace when leading. So I think he's a must include here. You've got Top Military, an interesting horse from gate 13. He settled last and was never really a chance, so might try and ride him a little bit further forward. But another race where there's a lot of back markers.
Staying at 1200 metres for Can't Stop the Feeling is this horse. It seems to be better over slightly longer, but look, he hit the line strongly enough. Chad Schofield will take them out, and his track work suggests he's come on from that debut run. Solomon's Bay, he won last start, and that was a fresh up for him. He looks good once again. This might be his season. He's under a decent hold as he comes back, and Zach Burton sticks with the ship with Solomon's Bay. And the other one is Chicken Dance. Now, Brett Davis has threatened to burst out into song if this horse hits the front on Sunday. You can see he's under a good hold and he's ready to go.
I'll throw in a little if you want, just before they hit the line if he wins.
On. There we go.
Solomon's Bay. Well, Andrew Lejeune was counting the cash at the 250 here because this was his best bet, and he rolled on to win nicely at $8 in the end. Can he back it up?
He won nicely. He travelled pretty well throughout. He'd been threatening to do this for a wee while, had Solomon's Bay. He'd got Zach on board. Plenty of things went right for him. Wasn't really pulling away from them. He only won by a neck, so I'm going to put him on a minor line. I'm interested to see if he can back it up.
It did look like he was going to go away and win by further, but maybe that he just ran out of steam a little bit, or maybe California Gung Ho just came back on him a little bit. I think either way, both of them need to be considered.
Yeah, definitely. I think California Gung Ho's both his runs have been pretty good, and it shows he is up to a Class 3 horse.
Definitely. All right, let's move on to Endearing, who, as I said, ran second behind Le Terroir. That was at the Valley, but he is a horse that's performed well at Sha Tin in the past. Yeah,
he definitely is, isn't he? And you can see him hit the line nicely here for a really good second. Endearing. He's a very consistent horse, this horse. He's got barrier 9, which put me off a little bit, so that was the reason I left him out on the end. But look, he hit the line strongly enough here.
Beat a couple of nice horses on this occasion too, did Endearing. A reliable team was there, Joyful Union making some ground, but he stayed on fairly well after having a nice run in transit.
Yeah, I actually tipped him that night, but I'm leaving him out because of the gate. I thought the gate was a bit of a concern here. Lakeshore Eagle took on Solomon's Bay here last season and pulled his pants down, basically. He gave him a start and a beating. Very talented young horse, Lakeshore Eagle. Only had the 4 starts. He is going in fresh. He's going to give away a little bit of a start. He did that here, but he was still good enough to get it done.
He's unbeaten fresh, though, this horse, isn't he? And he does meet Solomon Bay a lot better at the weights and beat him fair and square here. So, look, I found a spot for him. I think he's a really nice horse. This one, he's only had the limited starts and was a good win.
That horse out wide, Aero Happiness, I know he's been costly, but he overall is turning out to be quite a decent horse too.
He certainly is. The only thing I had I put him on top, Lakeshore Eagle, but his trial was for 7th. He has trialled better in the past going in fresh up. I thought his trial was just so, but it's hard to knock his fresh record.
All right, let's go to Ed Sadler again. He's speaking to Blake Shin, this time about Lone Eagle, who's been gelded in the off-season.
Lone Eagle, Blake, he's won 2 trials. You've been on board for both of them. Has he given you a good feel?
He sure has, yes. He's felt extremely well. He's trialled very good. I think it's there for everyone to see how good the horse is going. So if he can replicate that form into his race, I think he'll be extremely hard to beat.
Looking at that most recent trial, looked like there were times where he was struggling to hold him. He was trapping that keenly.
Yes, he's quite a bold going horse, and that's the difficult thing. Ricky's sort of instructed me to try and get the horse to settle and get some cover, but he's he's just wanted to free roll and get running. So it's just trying to curb his enthusiasm and get him to enjoy his racing a little bit. And if he can do that on the weekend, I think he's going to be hard to beat. You know, he's an overseas form. He's from Australia and he's ran in some good races back home. So I'm optimistic that he's going to run very well on the weekend.
Just on your own form, you've been here for the first month of the season now, a winner with Green Dispatch, a suspension, a few ups and downs. How do you evaluate the first month of the season from your point of view?
Look, yeah, overall I think it's been pretty good. We've been around the mark. You know, winner of a lot of placings, 4ths and 5ths. It's been pretty good. It's a learning curve. It's a good experience so far. Not where I want to be yet, but we're here for the long haul, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Oh, good to hear that Blake's enjoying himself, and no doubt more winners to come as we move on to Chicken Dance, who's another very talented young horse going in fresh.
First trial I thought was just so that the second trial here that we're showing you for 4th I thought was much better from Chicken Dance, the 4-year-old by Hinchinbrook. When he won last start from gate number 5, he sprinted sharply at the 300 metres and basically put the race beyond doubt. His turn of foot was very good, but he certainly showed improvement from barrier trial 1 to 2.
Yeah, and look, they put him up 11 points as well from that win, and now he's found himself at the bottom of Class 3, but he comes in with a light weight. And I think he's a really progressive horse, so I'm going to go with him.
Yeah, early on he matched up against Mr. Croissant. Similar types, aren't they? Heading forward, both look progressive. He's on top, Paul.
Yeah, I'm going to get him just to edge out Lakeshore Eagle, the 13 to beat the 12. I like both these two horses. California Gung Ho showed to me that he's up to Class 3, no problems with that second behind Solomon's Bane. He does meet him better in the weights. And then Lone Eagle, he's been gelded in the off-season. He gets back, he runs on. So 13, 12, 11 and 4. I'll stick with the dance to win.
On top for me, well, going from one bird to another, a chicken to an eagle here. Lakeshore Eagle number 12, he goes on top. Fresh up record is very good. Chicken Dance goes in. There's another bird as well, Lone Eagle, number 4 there.
Moral.
Crossover noseband going back on. Trials have been really good. And Solomon's Bay, I don't mind him after his last start win. So 12, 13, 4, 2. Also adding Can't Stop the Feeling and Private Rocket into the trio there as well. So 12 on top.
Terrific race, isn't it, race 9? And the bird favourite at the moment, Lone Eagle. So very interesting to see how that one unfolds. We're going to take a break here on Racing to Win. When we come back, race number 10 and all the best bets.